Welcome back to our InDesign tutorials. This one is chapter 4, so if you're working with our book, then chapter 4 we have some assets that we've gotten into, the artwork resources. We're looking at the monster poster, this 04D, and then the PDF of the directions. This is the page 7 that we're on. Now I'm only going to do a few things here, and by now if you've been practicing with doing some of the earlier tutorials and reviewing some of the basics, this should get you much more comfortable and you can speed up your process quite a bit. But here we're looking at adding images into the mixture. So I'm going to place a picture, actually 2 pictures, because we're using the same picture for all 4 pictures, but just a close-up of some different areas. And you're going to eyeball it as far as making it look good, because sometimes we do that. We will duplicate a design because last year we did the design, and maybe this year we no longer have it in our archive and we have to redo it with new dates or whatever on a project or an ad. Okay, so I want to place a picture inside of the picture box, and in our directions there is actually a key command set. For a Macintosh, okay, I'm going to zoom in here quite a bit. Shift Option Command and then hit the E key. That's for the Macintosh. For Windows, you're going to hold down the Shift Alt Control keys and then hit the E key. Again, these are all of our modifier keys plus the E key. Now what does that do? That makes it so that we will be able to fit the picture into the frame proportionally, and it makes it so that you don't have to keep going back to transform. It does it more automatically. Okay, how do I place a picture inside of the box? Well, I don't even have to select the box. Our page layout here for this particular project, and if we look at this again, no, not that one. Okay, this one. The layout here, this INDT, that is a template, and so then that's what we are opening up, and it's already predetermined with some text boxes and some picture boxes. Now I don't even have to select the picture box. I need to just go to File and Place, just like we did with some text that we were coming from Microsoft Word. Here we're going to select the EPS. Now an EPS is a file format for bitmap and vector art. We're able to place a bunch of different kinds of file formats, so you'll be able to see that. Open that up. And then even without selecting anything, if I click right on the frame box here, okay, it recognizes that it can receive a picture. All right. If I hover over this little disc, I'm able to click and get into the inside of the picture box and get at its contents, the actual picture. And you can see here only part of it is showing. It's showing kind of a ghost area around it. So I'm going to place that back. So I want it to fit in there proportionally, so I'm going to go ahead and click back onto the edge of the object itself. So we need the object. And if I hold down all those modifier keys plus the E key, it'll jump into the box. Now sometimes you have a picture that is not got the same format as your picture box. We don't generally like to squash and stretch our pictures. I always say there's the sure sign of an amateur is to stretch or squash your picture as a graphic designer. All right, this happens to fill that in really great. I'm going to do this one other one here. Same thing, file place, and select the picture. And it really places it at top left. So all I'm seeing in this picture box right here is the top left-hand corner. And again, the little disc appears when I hover over the middle. If I click on that, wow, we aren't even seeing their eye. So I could click and drag. Now you really do have to make sure that you hold down your mouse key and wait a second so that the ghosting of that picture appears. So I want his eyeball in there. All right, what if it's too big? Because our project kind of looks like this. We've got his eye, but on mine it's a little too big. So if I click on that little disc, or I could always go to the direct selection tool to select what the contents. Going back to the regular selection tool, if I go to the outer edge on one of the corners, of course, and hold down my shift key, I can make it smaller. If I hold down the option key, it will resize it from the center. Okay, so it's a little bit easier. There we go. And then move it around until I like it. Okay, another thing that you will be doing is some formatting. Now, with this project, it doesn't necessarily tell you all of the specifications for the typesetting. Okay, and so you're going to kind of have to make a little bit of a guess, but follow along with the directions. But one of the nice things about this PDF, if you open the PDF in Acrobat Reader, yeah, I can select the text. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, Control or Command C, and then back in my project, I need to deselect that picture and go back to my text box. I'm going to double click in the text box because it will automatically make that or the type tool. It'll choose that. Then I'm going to paste it. Wow, that's all capital letters. If you're seeing all capital letters, that's not what I picked up, is it? All right, I'm going to select all, Command or Control A, and I got to see what's going on. In the character panel, you can go into the flyout menu, and here is a way of getting at, yeah, the all caps is checked. So I want to uncheck that. All right, fantastic. And one thing that I want to do is put a return or a paragraph between monsters and run for your life. So let's zoom in here a little bit. Press return or enter. All right, and the majority of the text is Myriad Pro, and guess what? It already is Myriad Pro. But I want the bottom part here to be, let's see, Economowalk Children's Museum, and the date to be much smaller. So let's say it's 14 point or 6. Nah, that's too small. 16 point, something like that. Kind of goes all the way across. So you're going to eyeball this. All right. The majority of the text is also a color. So I'm going to go to the swatches panel, which they happen to put a swatch color in there. So I want to click that. Not to worry, there is something that is black in color. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Run for Your Life and make it black. The other thing I want to do is that text for Run for Your Life is called Giddy Up. All right, so I can click inside of my text, my character here, and which font that is. Let's type in, oh, there it is, Giddy Up. As soon as I start typing, it kind of finds it. Then the monsters, make sure you select the paragraph there, and that is mesquite. Okay, mesquite. It didn't do it for me. Mesquite. All right. And so then you're going to be playing around with the sizes. That really has to be, yeah, about that big. Now I want to move the Run for Your Life down. So it has to do with leading or space after. All of the text is 14 point for leading. And I guess I'm okay with that. I'm going to take, and under monsters, I want to go back to my paragraph panel and use the space after, and you can, type in inches or pike as points, whatever it is that you want. And then for the Run for Your Life, all right, I need a little bit of space after that as well. Okay, we're in pretty good shape here. All right, you're going to tweak it the way you like and finish out the project. Have some fun.